Trapmore gang, it has been 5 years now, going on 6, from the date the infamous street drill rapper King Von ended up losing his life in a shooting that involved the Savannah rapper Quando Rondo and his close homie Lil Tim, who unfortunately was the person who jumped out of the car and opened fire, firing the shots that took King Von's life after he had basically sucker punched Quando Rondo and attempted to jump him. Now, there's been endless back and forths in the rap game ever since this all went down, and one person who is definitely public enemy number one when it comes to Chicago drill and gangster rappers is, of course, Lil Tim himself. And there's now rumors that have been circulating that Lil Tim was actually shot in Texas, and some people are happy to hear it. Other people are calling it cap, but I'm going to break it all down for you in this video, okay? This viral post was doing some numbers on X.com, formerly Twitter, the other day, saying that Quando Rondo affiliate Lil Tim was allegedly shot in Texas and his condition is still unknown. Now, people in the comments were low-key celebrating, saying they finally got him, finally. Don't know him, but praying. People saying he was a great guy. So some people saying, let's go. Some people literally celebrating. Finally, some justice. What the F, started to feel like karma didn't exist. I don't agree with that. I don't even want to say it. But yeah, the moment he popped Von, his life was already on the clock. But then again, for somebody that they said, this is no disrespect, but for somebody they said, you know, King Von was the most demonic drill rapper. If he died today, his dude's going to slide every day. You know, Lil Tim's still out here walking around. Now, obviously, they did target Quando Rondo in a shooting that killed his cousin Lil Pab, and that's why Lil Durk is basically facing life in jail at the moment, and it's not looking too good for him, but Lil Tim is actually still out here walking around. Now, Lil Tim would basically take to social media to prove that he was still standing after this rumor, with some people potentially believing, you know, maybe Lil Tim tweeted the cap emoji. Maybe he was saying that the rumors of him being shot were cap. Maybe the rumors of him passing away were cap. But some people were saying Durk fans were in shambles right now. People were early celebrating what was allegedly happening to Lil Tim. Right? It's an OTF fans finna cry when they see this. You ended Von permanently. He's never coming back, and they're mad. 4K trade, jump out, gang, man. It is actually crazy. Oh, boy. Now, Tim would follow this up with an Instagram story. He basically just said, chill out, dudes. If you miss me, just say that. All right. This was his response. And he obviously said on Twitter that it was cap. And he said that maybe people are missing him. But interestingly, okay, there was seemingly a period where it seemed like Lil Tim's every move, every waking move that he made, every breath he takes, every move he makes was being monitored. Not just by the feds, but also by the ops. This is E-Dog from O-Block, a close friend of King Von's, a notorious guy from O-Block who has a pretty dark history. He had apparently spent his Friday nights watching Lil Tim smoking on IG Live and lurking in them comments, basically wishing on his downfall. Look at this.
And Tim we trust. Boy, I got some music coming out next month for y'all ass. No cap. I don't mean you might not get it, but I got it for you.
So they're saying that account that was watching was E-Dog, one of the most notorious O-Block members. They're saying E-Dog's in the comments and in the watching saying like, one day, my boy, one day. And they want to get him, man. And I'm not condoning it, but obviously they're going to be into it for life with these guys. And they're saying, folks, mad as hell. This is sad, not going to lie. I know he felt like the Joker watching this live, right? It's sad. Saying E-Dog follows all of the ops. They need to get burner accounts. They're making it hot. They're saying he follows me for some reason, right? I think he might follow me. I'm not going to lie. Okay, so you weren't about him being weird. What about all them clowns saying they're smoking Von and OTFK, right? I ain't even trying to say too much. But basically, okay, Redditors would actually find evidence that multiple members of the group may have been keeping a very close eye on Lil Tim's digital footprint. Multiple O-Block members and steppers. People saying, you ever noticed that Moowop follows Lil Tim on Instagram too? And if you know who Moowop is, he's one of the guys that are, not even allegedly, he's one of the guys that was found guilty of the murder of FBG Duck, right? A hit that some people think King Von had something to do with. People saying, keep an eye on your enemies. No shit. All right, exactly. Homie posting this clueless on why he would even do that. It's obvious, all right? You would keep your eye on your enemies. He said, yeah, he was trying to get the drop or catch him slipping. Simple. E-Dog do too, all right? I would consider it as a threat as well. Saying dudes be stalking their ops. It's eerie as F. People saying it ain't a big deal. People saying Muwop set Von up. I don't believe that. But basically, with the downfall of O-Block and OTF, and look, this is no disrespect, but O-Block are down bad right now, right? The O-Block crew and everybody that had anything to do with King Von, all right? When King Von passed away, that was a big breadwinner. That was a big lightning rod of attention and social media clout and fame and success. King Von was a really, really talented member, and as much as he was going hard in the streets, he was a good rapper and he was bringing a lot of love to the area. So when he passed away, it didn't, it didn't go the way that the O-Block crew maybe thought it was going to go as far as the industry. Now, what's crazy is since O-Block have fallen out of favor, OTF are in shambles because Lil Durk's facing life in jail for the murder of Lil Pab. Lil Tim and the NBA crew are on top of the world and they're closer than ever. What's interesting, okay, is Lil Tim's connection to the NBA crew all comes through Quando Rondo, obviously, and this dates back all the way to 2018. They're saying Lil Tim's actually been hanging out, thugging with the NBA members, all right? People like Ben 10 from back in 2018. People thinking Lil Tim just clicked up with these guys because he killed King Von and YoungBoy and the NBA crew want some clout for the Von Slayer, all right? That's not true. Lil Tim actually been thugging with the most outstanding members the whole time since 2018, since years before Von died.
Boy, thugging, man. These niggas don't want no problems.
I got going on thugging.
Come on, man. These niggas don't want no problems.
Let the fuck from behind, cause bitch was slanging down. Take his ass up top like how?
Niggas, I don't know what these niggas. I'm come on, I just went and caught them.
Oh, bitch, y'all banging.
Oh, yeah.
Huh?
Yeah. I got
So Lil Tim is in the back of the car with NBA Ben 10, or is he in the car with Herm? So Quando's in the car. Quando's in the car with 10, and what, Lil Tim in the back of the car with Herm? Like, that's, bruh, you plugged in with the real ones. And this is before everything that went down. You know what I'm saying? See, it's Lil Timmy riding ready to shoot with Herm. They all tapped in.
What's up?
Man, these niggas, pussy is a bitch,
Oh, yeah. I'm in that wreck.
I ain't even gonna do all that on the line, man.
Man,
we put the niggas out the shoes, though.
Man, so I do a count, man. I got Tim in the back, to scary sight.
Man, what Tim is? Oh, look, we got two of him.
He said he got Tim in the back. That's a scary sight.
Man, so I do a count, man. I got Tim in the back, to scary sight.
Man, what Tim is? Oh, look, we got two of him. I got Lil Tim and BR. Stop playing, man.
See, what's crazy about that, right? Quando says we got Lil Tim in BR. We got Lil Tim in Baton Rouge. He in that rack, not that shy rack. They call Baton Rouge that rack. And basically, it's saying he's a scary sight. That's a Chicago reference. So he was tapped in with the biggest demons. If you know about Herm the Black Sheep, okay? And I feel like at the end of this, Quando wants to say, yeah, you locked in with some killers. And this is before the King Von thing. You don't say it, but listen to how he said it. It's like he wants to be like, bro. He wants to say it. Everybody all wants to say all the demonic stuff they be getting up to.
We just
some thug ass dudes, man. Come on, stop playing with me. So people I'm not reading that one. That's crazy. Right? People saying in my head I'm with them there. Me and Ben had the same reaction when Herm joined the live. Man, people saying they kill for these boys. They do it for free. But interestingly, okay, in a later interview with Vlad TV, Lil Tim would detail the very first conversation that he actually had with NBA YoungBoy following the incident with Von, and it was very, very interesting. Look at what he said. This is how it went down.
Before all this stuff was even going on, I met YB about 2018, 2019 through Quando.
So Lil Tim's out there hanging out with YoungBoy and them, front lining for the NBA crew in Baton Rouge back in 2018, hanging out with the real steppers.
What was that first, conversation with YB after you got out?
Got out from Atlanta?
Well, no, when you got out of jail, when you made bond,
Yeah.
and you and YoungBoy had a conversation. What was that conversation like?
I probably talked to him a couple months later, and he was just saying like the same thing everybody else saying, like, don't worry about what the industry's saying or what's going on in the air, bro. You ain't did nothing wrong. You gonna beat the case and shit like that. Like, that was like first conversation type shit.
Well, you had that one verse, but you're mentioned throughout the album.
So you can go and look into that in your own time, right? But obviously Lil Tim linked up on a song with YoungBoy and Quando, okay? And that is interesting that's how it went down after they spoke. Now, what's also interesting is DJ Akademiks actually gave a breakdown of the moment that NBA YoungBoy officially picked a side in this industry-wide beef, okay? And he kind of broke down how this whole mess played out and how, you know, you got Lil Tim and Quando and Lil Durk and everyone's just picking sides in the industry. 21 Savage picked his side, kind of went the way that he didn't want it to go. But yeah, it's an interesting backstory how it all came together. Listen to what Akademiks had to say about it.
Listen, check it out now. Holy. Now, if y'all haven't listened to that new NBA YoungBoy's tape, it's called Our Colors. Man, that junk go hard, man. Why be really better out here, okay? However, man, I'm not gonna lie, man. He got all type of disses on the junk. He's not even throwing subliminals no more. Straight overt. He's getting at people directly. Now, I'm also gonna be honest, because Quando Rondo's on the tape too. They just clowning Von. There's no way to explain. They're just clowning him. Now, first of all, there's a song called Gangsta, right? Which Quando Rondo is actually featured on. And he says this. He said, listen, man, 300 bands later, I still ain't dropped, and y'all united. They say Lil Tim, the biggest op, stepped on that boy, don't do no fighting, yellow tape, Glocks, Max, and Carbons, fuck the industry, don't like us.
He's showing the wrong lyrics, by the way.
200 grand out for your pockets, like fuck that, let me buy the body. They know we really bout it. Straight whatever, no Playboy Cardi. God damn it. Now, listen, YoungBoy also gave some shout outs to Lil Tim as well, okay? He says this, on a track called No Switch. He says, they know I don't give a fuck. They know they don't want to see Lil Tim jump from out that truck. They know Quando rolling like them 60s. Buck, he put you up. Know I'm a thug-ass nigga out that north, and I'ma throw it up. And I'm in that bitch. I whack that bitch, but innocent. I buy my baby mama anything because I'm really rich, okay? Now, it's clear. You know, they're pretty much going to rock with their guy, which is obviously Lil Tim. Lil Tim, if you don't know, this is a guy who jumped out of the truck and shot Von fatally after Von got into a fist fight with Quando Rondo in Atlanta. And basically, it has divided both crews, OTF, also the guys over at 4K Trey. And you can tell by the raps here, they're rocking with Lil Tim, all right? Now, I'm wondering how this is going to play out. Because like a couple months ago when YoungBoy was kind of like locked up or not commenting, everybody hated Quando. Everybody hated Tim. Why? Because they loved King Von. However, when YoungBoy is now basically co-signing the actions of Lil Tim, do people have a change of opinion or a change of heart on the situation? You know, I've said before, if King Von or one of King Von's people did what Lil Tim did, I think they would be championing King Von. You know why? They like King Von more than they like Quando Rondo. However, because it was on the other side, it basically people aren't that happy. I'm wondering when a more popular rapper like YoungBoy basically, you know, keeps shouting out Lil Tim and basically standing behind it. I'm wondering how that'll change the perception. Now, you could also hear.
So it's interesting, right? Because this is 3 years ago. He's talking about all of these guys basically picking their sides, but now everything's changed. You wouldn't have expected it. Now Lil Durk's in jail. Now YoungBoy's out here and he's one of the hottest rappers in the game. Now what's really crazy, okay, is I'm going to give you some more Lil Tim backstory, some more Lil Tim lore. Basically, there's a few more interesting moments that have happened in the lead up to Lil Tim, you know, rumored to have been hurt, but apparently it's cap. Back in 2024 in June, okay, he was seemingly safe, all right? He was, you know, outside in these streets, not having any issues, even though all these people wanted to get him down and get him down bad. A video would actually go viral showing the moment he was pulled over by the police and he had a strap on him, but he was let go because he doesn't have any prior convictions, okay? Any of the charges that he's ever had against him have not stuck, and he has actually maintained a spotless record, and he is allowed to carry a firearm. He's not done anything wrong.
Could you go ahead and take your seatbelt off and step out of the car for me, sir? Face the vehicle for me. Mr. Leaks, do you have anything on you or in the car or anything like that, man? Okay.
So he said, look, I got a firearm. Sounded like gunshots in the distance too. Like, what the hell? You messing with him? You got bigger fish to fry.
So right now, you're being detained, okay? You're not under arrest.
Pretty sure we got gunshots on
You're just being detained right now, okay?
You hear it on the radio? They're talking about, bro, we got gunshots. So, you guys worried about Lil Tim. Worry about them gunshots. Like, what are you doing? But anyway, okay, as this went on, all right, we would basically end up seeing he was basically good.
he's not a convicted felon. But you can tell he just had several felony charges.
He's had several felony charges, not convicted. Nothing's ever stuck to him.
But not convicted. Has he been indicted or on probation or anything? He's on bond. For felony charges? I'll have to double check because the last thing it shows on Phoenix is that he was released on bond. That was like 2 years ago.
So the last they see, he was released on bond 2 years ago. It don't sound like he really got no problems, right? So he can actually be out here with the fire legally.
Okay. Mr. Leaks, I'm seizing your firearm because you're still on bond. Okay. Under your bond conditions that you cannot have a firearm. Okay. So I am seizing your firearm. Does that firearm belong to you or does it belong to somebody else? It's my firearm. It's your friend's? Okay. So whenever your friend, whenever it gets released.
So I guess he's on. I guess he's on bond, but maybe this is in between him basically having his. You know, maybe he was on bond for the Atlanta thing because this is an old recording. So, I mean, shoot, man, that's crazy. But he never got no conviction.
He's got to bring the paperwork of original purchase or the proof of ownership for that Glock. Okay. I ain't gonna hit you up for the failure to yield for the green light. Okay. Have a safe night. Okay. Appreciate that. Be careful driving. All right. Any questions, Mr. Leeds?
How will he know when it's released?
Do you have your friend's name? I'm actually going to need all that stuff because he's the owner.
I don't know. I have his name and stuff, but I was going to ask him if he wanted me to do that. There's nothing wrong now. I just want to make sure.
See, he's solid. They said you need to give us your guy's name for the gun. He said, I don't know if I can give you that. All right, he's solid with it. Now, what's interesting, okay, is obviously there's been a lot of rumors about Tim and his backstory and what he was involved in. There's rumors that the King Von situation might not have been the first time he had to stand on business. And interestingly, during a 20v1 appearance, Lil Tim actually made a shocking claim regarding the number of hats that he has. People saying he's talking about he got 9x. Look at this.
You got? How many bodies you got?
You gotta count these right here.
Dead ass.
Dead ass.
I'm talking about a different type of body count.
What type body? Oh, what type body count you talking
not
about?
like, you know, sexual partners type.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about.
Okay.
I wasn't talking about sexual.
Just checking. Just checking.
That's what I was talking about from the jump.
Okay.
I already knew he was gonna ask me that, or somebody was gonna ask me that. I was gonna tell somebody to count these right here.
How many on there?
You ain't count it? You wanna count it?
It's high there.
You can count it.
Okay. That's a lot. So you just add one on there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10?
Yeah.
Down.
-1.
Why -1?
But it ain't 10.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. I ain't gonna count. I like how he's standing on business.
She like how he's standing on business. He's talking about 9. She said 10, but now it's 9. Now look, this is now they're bringing me up. I've seen this thread before. Clearly, it says, why is everybody claiming they got 10 bodies now? Exactly since that Von documentary, it's not cool to have 3 bodies no more. Now you need 8+. You're not a real dude unless you're doing a G. I ain't even gonna say that word. People saying that girl corny. She's still thick. She's saying the girl really got wet off the body count. These are really the girls that got. Wait, I'm gonna click on this. Wait. Wow. Okay. They're saying hybristophilia is a phenomenon where women are sexually interested in men who commit crimes. That's fact. And there was did anyone see this going around the other day? Did anyone see this viral post going around? This was crazy, right? It says a guy made a Tinder profile writing out a criminal record for beating women, and he got over 800 matches in 48 hours. All right. Yeah, got to look out for these Tylers, man. It says, I've got a criminal record for beating women, but we all have a past. And then it's cracking. All right. Was it Tinder? The Tinder was cracking. Okay. So this is a real thing. This is a real thing that dudes really be doing. The hybristophilia. All right. You got to look out for these females. All right. You got to look out for these Asian dolls. All right. Saying girls like her are going to make dumb dudes throw their whole lives away. Girls want a killer until he kill them. That's facts. All right. She thick as fuck, dumb as fuck, and I know she a good nut. Oh, man. Oh, man. Yeah, let's look. Are we going to move on? They're saying Von counted for like 7, not going to lie. That's crazy. They're saying Unk Gang Rob got the most. If you know the law, all right, you know the law. They're saying dude corrected her at 10. I believe him 9. If it was really, if he was capping, all right, if he was capping, He wouldn't be saying that. But anyway, okay, when NBA YoungBoy basically launched his Massa tour, obviously he needed a good skull collector on his crew. Lil Tim did join the crew as part of the tour, and he joined everybody on the road.
What it do is show Beezy, and after years of being locked up and on house arrest, NBA YoungBoy's highly anticipated tour just kicked off in Dallas. And the crowd was YNs up to old heads. Of course, his brother OG3 was there, DJ Akademiks was there, his mentor and business partner Birdman was there.
Shout out Montana, we got Stunner in here, everybody in here.
His artist, Quando Rondo, is currently locked up, but Lil Tim was there supporting.
Lil Tim.
And YoungBoy.
So he had a real one, man. He had Lil Tim there for the Massa tour, all right? And basically, one moment from the tour actually went viral where fans were debating whether there was like a little heated exchange between YoungBoy and Tim on stage or whether this was something else. So it's unclear whether that's like him disrespecting him. Maybe he quickly telling him something real quick. Maybe it's just a little heated moment. He just getting a little bit too much energy. But again, like that's not who to play with. But story goes, YoungBoy, you know, he wilds out on the crew. That's what people be saying. Behind the scenes, he's a bit of a tyrant when it comes to the tour. But he's the $100 million man, so I guess he can do what he wants. But that's definitely not someone to play with. But as we saw, Herm the Black Sheep said he would tie YoungBoy's shoes if he had to. YoungBoy the reason that everybody on. YoungBoy the reason a lot of people are still alive. And YoungBoy the reason a lot of people ain't alive as well, if you want to get into it like that. But anyway, okay, Lil Tim's status had actually reached a point where he was even seen signing his own autographs at YoungBoy's show. He a real celebrity, part of the tour. He a draw for fans. He actually autographing people's shit backstage or at the front of the stage. Everybody asking Tim for autographs. Girls want their wrist signed and shit. Like, they're saying, yo, sign me, baby. All right? That is actually crazy. I'm not going to lie. That is actually insane. And even more wild, okay, in October, as the tour was kind of reaching its conclusion, Lil Tim was spotted on camera officially rocking YoungBoy's iconic Gravedigger chain, okay? So clearly, he really locked in with the Gravediggers. They letting him wear the iconic chain. This is actually a legendary chain.
Oh, that being busted, ain't it? That being busted, ain't
it? It looks fire, man. That is a legendary chain. Now, interestingly, okay, in a recent interview with Witty Apparatus, okay, Baby Joe, another kind of legendary guy from the NBA orbit, he basically said that Lil Tim is like a brother to the NBA crew, and they fully stand behind him no matter what, man. Listen to what he said.
Now, we see Lil Tim going around with NBA YoungBoy on this concert, man. City to city, enjoying himself, going live. But there's still that overreaching and lingering thing with him and the King Von situation that took place in Atlanta, right? Now with that, and you see Lil Tim going city to city, you see fans engaging, they're happy about it, but there's always that lingering issue in the back. How do you feel like y'all team should approach this going forward? You just keep doing what you do, or is it just going to be one of those things because Lil Tim's y'all guy?
Shit, Lil Tim our guy, man. Free Quando, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, man, that's our brother, man. At the end of the day, that's our brother. We'll never turn our back on our own. Never.
Nah, that's solid. I think most people can appreciate that, man. You know what I mean?
Got to, bro. Got to. You wouldn't be behind it if you do. You change certain situations that mean you'll never ever from the start. You get what I'm saying?
Yep.
So they saying Lil Tim a real one, man. He really locked in with the NBA like that. Thankfully, he wasn't hurt in that incident that is going around. He said it's cap. All right, he said y'all must have missed me. Now, I would like to know whether there was actually a situation behind that, whether it was just a complete lie. I do know, even though things have cooled off a little bit, Lil Durk's in jail, there are definitely still guys connected with O-Block and Chicago that would still love to do him harm. Let's hope that doesn't happen, man. I don't want to see Lil Tim get hurt. Like, he didn't want to be in that situation that night. He didn't want any of this, all right? This has all been just extra shit that he did not want to be no part of, okay? And now he's part of it. It is what it is. But I would like to see just Chicago, Baton Rouge, everybody involved in this whole mess just heal, all right, and move forward from it. But let me know what you guys thought, man. I did think that was an interesting thing. It's in my wheelhouse. I've covered Von and Tim and YoungBoy and Dirk endlessly on this channel. So we got to keep you updated if anything is rumored to have happened to the main man himself, Lil Tim, all right? No disrespect to anybody on either side. We're just keeping up with everything that's going on. Hope this sounded good. I hope the audio was good in this video because I have had some audio issues recently. I talked about it in my last video. All right. I'm hoping this is good. If there's a problem, let me know. We're going to fix it. All right. I'm just very committed to making sure the audio is on point. But anyway, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Thank you for watching this one. I'm out of here. Peace.